Now, parents have until midnight to apply for their children to enroll for the 2022 academic year in Gauteng. Phase 2 of online application for grades 1 and 8 will close at midnight. Parents are reminded to upload their documents onto the system when applying, ensuring that each document is certified for schools to verify them accordingly. Joining me now is Gauteng Education Spokesperson Steve Mabona. Steve, very good morning to you. Thank you for your time. The clock is ticking. Parents who haven't enrolled and taken themselves through the process are running out of time.
Good morning, Paul. Yes, time is ticking. We need them to make sure that they apply, and upload documents. It's quite key that you need to upload documents, because if you don't do that, it will be difficult for us to even consider you during the placement period, which will commence on the 15th of October. So if you apply today, you don't have any other day. You need to make sure that you upload before we shut down the system, because midnight we shut down the system. We prepare now for the placement period, because we need to place, starting with those that might have applied in phase 1 and move to those that applied in phase 2. But the SMSs are going to be staggered. We're not going to issue SMSs to all parents on the same day. That's why our placement period commences on the 15th of October. It will end on the 30th of November.
When it comes to some of the numbers that you've been tracking, Steve, where are you standing in terms of the successful applicants?
Look, we must say we're indebted to parents, to all guardians who applied, because when you look at the numbers, you can tell that almost everyone applied. Probably we'll be dealing with a handful of those that would have not applied. Probably will come after we have closed. You know that we'll always have those. Then we will find a way of probably accommodating them. But majority are in the system. I mean, the first phase, we recorded over 350,000 applications. And now in the second phase, where yesterday we were standing at about 280. But we know by the time we close, probably would have reached 290, if not 300,000 applications. So that gives us an indication that almost everyone is in the system, and we will then start the process of placing them. But we will probably in a position to accommodate those that will come from the later stage, but we will then give them space that is available at that time. So if we offer, you will not have a choice much, because our challenge is capacity in Gauteng. Each and everyone want to come, more so now from the independent schools. COVID hit people very hard, and most of them, they want to come to the public school environment, and it's quite difficult because we have our own capacity challenges. Now we also need to accommodate them. So it's a challenging one for us, but we'll try to accommodate all those that have applied.
And it is a major challenge in terms of capacity and parents and guardians' preference of schools, often leaving many really upset about the process and upset with the province in terms of school allocation. How are you dealing with that going forward when it comes to allocating children close to home, or perhaps allocating them from the preferred school of choice?
Look, every year we will have parents that are aggrieved because of the capacity, like as we've already indicated. There are schools that will receive so much applications. And this year we then said that we will then cap, have a number. If we reach that number, then we systematically don't allow people to apply at that school. Our reasoning behind that was that we don't want to raise hopes. We don't want to have more insults. Let's rather have them now in the application process. And when we place, we know that there's no expectation because we have not applied at that school. But we are not doing that because we don't want to accommodate people because of capacity. We felt that let's not raise hopes. I mean, if a school that has a capacity of 300, why must we allow 1,500 people or applications So we feel that at least let's cap and make sure that we have a reasonable number, then we'll be in a position to accommodate. But yes, the priority is people who stay closer to those schools and they are within the feeder zone. That's our priority. That's where we start, because we feel that it will be unfair for people that will be coming from other areas, because they have an advantage that they work very close to that area, and a parent that stays there within that area is not accommodated because the school is full, because of people who say, no, I work closer to this school, then I need to be accommodated. So we're trying to balance, and it's quite difficult, we understand, and parents will always be aggrieved with us because of the situation that we find ourselves in.
A few years ago, you spoke about grading the different schools according to excellence. When it comes to that process, how has it then assisted you in ensuring that you do prioritize the learners and parents within the criteria that you've set out as a department?
Yeah, but that, you see, word of mouth, that's what parents, rely much on. And MEC will normally say that people sometimes go for the uniform and all those, but it's difficult for you to convince a parent that a school in a township is doing well. I mean, we've changed the landscape in the townships. I mean, we have schools that are giving us 100% in the township. But because the school is in the township, there's perceptions around some of our schools in our areas, then parents are reluctant to take their children there. But we also have schools of specializations, which are in the center of our townships. So, and they're doing very well. So I think with time, parents will then realize that the schools are doing well, and we've improved so much. We put so much resources. I mean, all our township schools have a smart board. Now with the metrics going to right, we can be in a position to link those smart boards with the studio, and then educator will then be teaching there. Learners will be revising. So we'll just connect the smart board, and you are in a position to take that lesson. So those are the things that we have done up to so far, which we are saying to parents, we have improved so much, they need to trust us and, take children to schools that are closer to where they stay.
And very lastly, very quickly, Steve, what happens to parents who don't make it and miss the deadline and still need to apply for their children online? Will you be extending the period?
Look, I mean, we are in this space. We look at the stats, and calculatively we can see that probably there's a percentage that might have not applied, and we will then decide on how we're going to be accommodating them. So remember last year in December, we opened the system, and almost everyone, all officials were tired, everyone went on leave, and people were allowed to apply while it was holidays. So the first week of January, we closed the system, and then we checked how many people applied, and we managed to place them. So probably we'll go with that route, but I'm not sure now. We'll wait for the official announcement on how we're going to be, accommodating those that would have missed the boat, and make sure that we don't have challenges of queues in our schools in January or when we open schools.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. Let's leave it there for now. Gauteng Education Department spokesperson Steve Mabona speaking to us there as the clock ticks for Gauteng parents as applications for online school admissions close at midnight.